Hello everybody, welcome back to the breakdown. I'm Tone and it's fantastic to have you watching another one of my videos. Great to have you back. Want to give a shout out to a new couple of subscribers. Thank you so much for joining my humble little channel here. It does mean a lot. Thank you for the comments. I've been doing this channel now for about 2.5 years, and mostly covering some stuff that I guess YouTube kind of like to avoid getting out there. And so I guess that's why the channel hasn't grown real fast, and I've been semi-inconsistent of late. But since doing these videos, I do want to keep up with the precious metals side of things, because I think it's become a very, very, very important topic. And as I've said in my previous 2 videos on this playlist, it's exciting and encouraging to see so many new stackers and new people being interested in precious metals. That's been encouraging. It's also been, as with anything, as soon as you get more people talking about these types of things, there can be some tricky things that go along with that, because some information gets a little lost in translation, gets misconstrued. There are the types that like to be a little bit brash with what they talk about in regards to precious metals, and people that buy and sell it, and for what reasons they do so. And so, like I like to do with this channel, I like to break things down and discuss them at a level that allows people more understanding, kind of simplify the complicated stuff, because ultimately we all want to be winning in this battle. Because if you're doing the precious metals thing, then it's beyond collecting. It's preservation of your financial purchasing power. That's the predominant reason why most would be in the stacking, but obviously it's exciting and interesting as well. So today I just want to touch on the fact that silver overnight has been absolutely hammered, and gold not so much, which is usually the case. And wanted to share with you that I was watching a video on Yankee Stacking's channel. So shout out to Yankee Stacking. He's not going to know who the heck I am, and probably never will, but that's okay. So a shout out to Yankee Stacking. You probably already know who that is, and are probably subscribed to his channel. If you're not, highly recommend it. He always speaks to, or usually speaks to, a guy named Tim who owns a coin shop. Anyway, Tim mentioned something that I found very interesting. I didn't know yet, and I'm going to share with you. And that is that in the past in the US, the initial plan was for gold and silver to be pegged at 1 to 15. So 1 ounce of gold, this is a 2 ounce, but let's just call it a 1 ounce. 1 ounce of gold would buy 15 ounces of silver, and it would just be that. At a later time, they were talking about it being, say, 1 to 25. I'm pretty sure he said they settled on 1 to 16. Now, that was back when gold and silver were treated like money, before the fiat crap took over, and was allowed to take over and become what they like to call money, which it is not. So I just wanted to touch on that because I've just done a comparison here, and I'll just bring it up. As of today in the US, based on the gold to silver ratio, it's currently, well, I've just done the sums before, and it was 96.27 to 1. So it took 96, or 48, let's say 48 2-ounce coins of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Now, if we're saying 15 to 1, that's way, way, way out there now. That's 6. 6 times more of this to buy one of this. So, that's ridiculous. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is gold, as I mentioned in my previous video, gold has traditionally just gone up. It's had its pullbacks, but it's generally gone up. I think as I spoke in my first video on this topic, in 2011 and 2012, and when gold was performing really well and silver was having its spike, when gold and silver kind of settled down, from memory, look, silver was around that $30 mark, $28 to $30. Now I'm talking Australian dollars because that's going to be in my memory. I can't remember in US terms. My point, though, being gold has since gone up quite steadily. I mean, gold now, an ounce is about $2,500 an ounce Australian as of today. And silver has hit rock bottom, or not a rock bottom, but it's come all the way back down to 26. Now, in Australian dollar terms, this is, I don't know. It's let's say it was probably around about 1,800. Again, I'm just sort of pulling numbers out, but just as an example, $1,800 an ounce. When gold was doing the best that it could back then, and silver at the time was that $28 to $30 an ounce. Now it's $26 an ounce, so it's come off compared to 10 years ago. And gold has put on an extra $700 an ounce. So, what does that mean? Well, it means that gold is money and is doing what it's supposed to do. And silver has sort of overall just stayed pretty flat and hasn't done a lot. Reasons for this. Silver is an industrial metal, so is platinum, and both of those are being hammered in the last 6 months, right? But that's an excuse that's used as well. We need to understand that silver is usually mined as a byproduct of other things. If it was mined for its own, in its own right, well, it'd have to be worth a lot more, or it would be valued at a lot more. It certainly is worth a very large amount more based on what I was just saying before, 15 to 1. That was an agreed term. It was agreed on for a reason because, this one's not super easy to get out of the ground. It's so much more easy to get out of the ground than this one. So how, when the supply of silver is so much smaller, the market of silver is so much smaller, and gold is generally just used as backing for the fiat currencies, why is silver priced at 96 times less than gold currently? So it's a good question to ask. None of this is financial advice, but there is a big reason why I have focused far more on silver in the past. However, I have given some more attention to gold because of its constant performance. But that's why I said in my previous video, gold is very good to have, and it's basically one of those things where you would get it and it'd be a much, much longer term hold, unless you had somewhere that you would really need that transferred into fiat transfer currency to be able to purchase something super important, then maybe. But silver, that is, in my opinion, the one that you would be more likely to buy at the low and sell at the high. So that's just my take on the gold and silver ratio. And just a brief talk about a lot of YouTubers do like to talk about, oh, don't go panic sell, don't go panic sell. And I agree with that. You want to be putting currency into your silver and your gold that you're not going to need instantaneously. This one you're not going to need for a fairly long time that you could foresee, and this one for the medium term sort of a thing, so that you're not forced into selling at a low. But look, life does what it does, and you might need to. Again, that's just my opinion. So yeah, that's all I sort of wanted to cover on that. Just if you are worried about the price going down, it's a pure gift. As I've just described, the differential between the two is absolutely ridiculous. And I do foresee gold going up harder and faster in the short term compared to silver. Silver's going to be suppressed for whatever reason and for whatever excuse they can conjure up. I do believe that silver is going to lag gold some more. So my focus is a little bit more on gold and a little bit more on platinum, because I don't have a whole lot of that yet. But silver, still the focus. I'm still, watching that very closely. And I think it'd be a great idea to take advantage to some degree on the price pullback. Now, what's in the box today? Well, if you've noticed and looked, you've seen that there's a box that doesn't match this one underneath here. And while I'm opening it up, let's just talk about, when we're talking about numismatics, this is a Perth Mint production, and this one's a very recent one. I've only had this a couple of months. When you're opening Perth Mint stuff, you want to flick the tab here so you're not bending the case, because numismatics, the covers are super important. But there's the front of it. I should have shown that before. The Tutankhamun, these things sold out super quickly. There's the case, or the coin details. Now, while we're having a bit of a look at this coin, I wanted to talk about, I know I'm showing my, an item of my stack each video, but, oh, look at that. It's so nice. Wanted to talk about, the elements of people's stacks. And I was watching a video recently of someone who actually does pouring of their own silver and that sort of thing. So it's not numismatic silver. And I guess you've probably noticed the video has actually recorded the right way by the looks of this one. We'll see how it comes out at the end of it, but I think we've finally figured out the issue. Oh, a bit glary. This is the Tutankhamun 100th anniversary Perth Mint release. 2 ounce, 4/9's fine. I know, so I'm talking about the numismatic coins. I'm showing off my numismatic coins of my stack. And as I said, I've been collecting for 10 years, so I've got a fair stack of them now, and quite like them. And I wanted to, say that precious metals stacking is preservation of wealth, first and foremost. And I think there's probably quite a few out there that just simply do that. There's others like myself, and perhaps like you watching this channel, where you may actually like to enjoy what you're collecting. And I think that's super, super important to be enjoying your stacking. So I know I've got, a lot of numismatic coins in my collection, and I've got just plain bullion as well. But I'm gonna have a little bit more of a look into getting, silver objects as well. And it's for interest's sake. I've got my bullion, which is, the generic sort of stuff. So very much a case of holding it, and if I need to sell it at some point, it's the first stuff that's going to go, because it's probably the easiest stuff to get back. These types of items, these are things that I'd be very hard pressed to part with, especially if they're items that I've only got one of each, kind of a thing. Those that I've got multiples, well, can sell them when they go up in value. I mean, this one was priced at 230 Australian dollars. Well, on eBay, I think the cheapest one of these you can get is now 500 Australian dollars. So, numismatic coins tend to do that. And so, I've got two of them. Probably might sell one at some point when the price is to that point where collectors just want it and they're willing to pay for it. But I should show this one as well. I showed this one in the first video. This is the 2013 Doctor Who 1 ounce. I only made 250 of these. And I love this coin. I love Doctor Who, as I had a commenter mention in a previous video. Thank you for your comment again. But I just, there we go. If I stop moving it around, it'll focus for you. It's, I just love it. I got the 1 ounce ones that had the TARDIS as well. Oh, actually, you know what? Next video. Next video, I will show the TARDIS. But they made 10,000 of those ones. So, but no, just when I saw these come up on eBay during that time where gold and silver were pretty well unloved, I had to have it. I just had to have it. And this is one of those ones that, yep, I'm going to hang on to. Come in a nice case and everything. Yeah, no, I love it. But yeah, getting back to what I was just saying before, I want to have a few silver items that I'd like to have perhaps on my channel on the screen all of the time. I've got some in mind. I am looking at them. And they'll have, a little bit more of a meaning to them as well, rather than just a numismatic kind of coin or just plain bullion, which are all great. But a silver object that makes a point, or is a point, or, that is a conversation piece, that sort of thing. And I've been encouraged by some videos recently that's what they do. They pour their own silver and that sort of thing. It's more encouraging to be a saver when you can see some reward for it, or it's interesting. as I've mentioned in a previous video, I'm an investor. Buy and sell shares, I have property and that sort of thing as well. And I make sure that I have my savings in real money as well. But obviously it's far easier to invest by spending and transferring fiat currencies. So, I've got that as well. And while things are going okay, then I can continue to do that. But we obviously do this to preserve our wealth against the downfall of currencies or instability in economies and that sort of thing. But I find share trading interesting and I find stacking interesting. And what makes it more interesting is having more odd sort of objects as well. And so I'm going to look into doing that very, very shortly. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that the silver price is, under quite severe pressure at the moment. And I think it would be great for this channel for me to have some objects of interest. So those are just my thoughts today, encouraging you also to have objects of interest, objects that might spark interests in others. I encourage you to talk to your family and to your friends, not just your YouTube channels if you happen to have one and you've found mine, not just talking about it on YouTube, but do what I do. If people are asking about what I like to do and that sort of thing, or how I'm investing and those sorts of things, I say I'm also putting away savings in precious metals and I tell them why. And one way to do that is having an interesting piece to show them and say, look, it's not just about money. It's not just about hoarding something. It has an interest to it. I am a collector. I do like to collect, as you can see. And so numismatic coins fit the collecting and preservation of wealth, because obviously the secondary market allows for these things to be priced in a way that you can make a bit of an investment out of them, even though I do argue that silver and gold are not investments. The numismatic coins do present that sort of crossover, because irrespective of the value of the metal, the collectorship of these coins allows them to be an investment of sorts. Anyway, so I hope that this video has been encouraging. I hope you liked the reveal of another stack coin. Please be encouraged to continue stacking. Don't be discouraged by the, or please try not to be discouraged by the drop in gold and silver. See it as an excellent buying opportunity, because this is a long-term thing. Really, it is. It's a long-term thing. Because when we understand the games that are being played in the financial world, and the way that they like to devalue the currencies all of the time, we know the game. And if you've got an idea about how the game is played, and that sort of thing, and you've got some form of foresight in it, you can usually play your cards pretty well the right way and protect yourself. And that's what this is. This is protection. This is holding real money, right? Real money, rather than just having everything at the whim of the governments and the banks that are always devaluing. And they call it growth, which is funny, isn't it? They call it economic growth by having more currency in circulation, when nothing could be further from the truth. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. I encourage you to continue to do continue to source information, doing your own research. And I encourage you to continue to stack, especially when the prices are down, because what better opportunity to do so. trajectory of silver has to be up. When it goes up to its actual realized value, when does it go and reach the value that it really should be realizing is probably the way I should say. Who knows? But that's not necessarily the point. The point is you want to be having something in case of... It's always better to be prepared well and truly before you've got a problem, rather than waiting for there to be a problem and going, oh no, what am I going to do? You're already doing something. If you've got this in your possession, you are already doing something. And that's the most important thing. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for another one of these videos. I hope that this is encouraging for you. I hope that you're not going to panic about the price drop. You may have thousands and thousands of dollars invested, put away in precious metals. You may have that already, and then you see the price drop, and you've just recently bought some at $36. Hang on, $36. That's Australian dollars per ounce. You may have been buying it when it was right up the top, in the recent spike in 2020 or the one way back in 2011, and you're just going, gosh, when is this going to finally realize its true potential? Relax, be patient. This is the long game, and you are in a battle for your own preservation. When you realize that, this is a perfect buying opportunity. It's not something to be too stressed about. Don't listen to all the heckler YouTube videos out there that ostracize you for selling it if you are in if you are in a situation where you need to. Don't allow that to even phase you. Don't listen to that sort of rubbish, because you're doing your thing. And it's a good thing that you are doing if you are stacking. That's my opinion. And as you can see, my currency is where my mouth is, and my money is where I am. It's right here with me. It's not in a bank. It's not at the whim of a government or a bank. It is mine. It's with me. And I hope the same for you. That's it. Thank you for joining me on the breakdown. I do appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. Please leave a like for the video, because I know likes on the video can actually get them seen by other people. Leave a comment. That was really exciting. Thank you for those that did comment on my videos. I love it. And if you've got a question for me, as I said, I've been doing this for 10 years, so there's quite a few things that I may actually be able to help you with. So if you've got any questions, please shoot me a message. That would be fantastic. Leave a comment. And that's it. Until next time, may God bless you and your families, and bye for now.